Hey everyone, DarkDragoon here with Season 2, Episode 27 of my FTB Modpack Let's Play. As you guys can see, we are starting off today in our Thaumcraft house. Why, you may ask? Well, it's been a while since we've been over here, and there's a couple different things I want to do. I'm feeling like it is a Thaumcraft and a tool making day, so why don't we go ahead and get started with that. So the first thing I want to work on is an item from Soulshards machine called the Soul Forge, and as you can see the recipe here, it's not too bad, but you might be wondering, what is this corrupted essence? Well, it's a bit of glowstone with some vile dust, which is just smelted soul sand. So I'm going to get some of that going right now, and that's going to start cooking up, and as soon as I get one, I'm going to nab one out real fast. It doesn't take too long to cook up soul sand, so there we go. So yeah, so there you go. Mix soul sand with a bit of glowstone and you get a corrupted essence. So excellent. So from there, it's just a matter of putting the stuff together. Like so. Soul Forge. Cool. Obviously we didn't have to make that in the in this, but you can use that as a crafting bench as well as a stuff for some magical stuff. So I think I'm gonna put this thing right here. That seems like a decent enough spot. So here's the UI for it. It looks just like a forge, right? You cook up something and cook something up in it. Well, basically what this thing is going to run on is I'm going to grab a bit more of this vile dust. It runs on this corrupted essence. So if we put this here and put ourselves some diamonds, that will start cooking up, and it's going to take quite a while, so I'll be back. So while our Soul Forge is running, I'm going to go running about, and we're going to go on a little bit of an adventure because there's something in particular I'm looking for, and I think I know where one is. A little bit rare of a particular thing I'm looking for. Ah, there's one. There in the distance with the blue leaves. Let's go check that out. Alright, so here we go. We found ourselves a silverwood tree. Very, very useful little Thaumcraft tree. I'm going to also grab our sickle out of here and basically use it to just chop the leaves off. There's a reason for this, and mostly there's a small chance that this will drop saplings for silverwood trees. And silverwood trees are very, very useful. Their wood is used as a component in a couple things, among, well, some other fun facts about silverwood trees being that they every single one of them has a aura node inside. So you can actually plant these and basically draw more aura nodes to one particular place. But that's not actually what my goal is for using this. I'm just kind of hoping to get a sapling, but unfortunately no such luck. That's okay. We'll just chop this thing down. And technically, I could have gone into Treecapitator's config, since if you recall, we do have Treecapitator, and set it so that we could treecapitate silverwood trees, but I didn't think it was that necessary. There you go. There's that little aura node I was talking about. Oh, that is bright. I think that is a pure node, is what it's called, because you can see the little starburst inside. So, 10 silverwood logs. That doesn't seem like quite enough. I think there's another silverwood tree over here. Like I said, these are a little bit rare, so they can be kind of difficult to find sometimes. These are definitely the only two I've seen in the overworld thus far, and I've done a little bit of exploring around. Maybe we'll get lucky this time and get ourselves a sapling. That would be nice. I think the saplings might be a little bit too rare, just a smidge. Not much more than that. I mean, they should be rare because they're extremely useful and they're extremely powerful, but yeah. But they could probably stand to be a little bit more common. I'm actually a little bit surprised that we didn't get one, because I'm usually able to get one. Nothing. Oh well, like I said, right now we're just chopping these down more for their use as logs. You can see there's another Aura node there. Also a pure node. I wonder if all the silverwood trees have pure nodes. That would make a certain amount of sense. Because silverwood trees are good for helping to control flux and that sort of thing. So, cool. Alright, so now that we've got ourselves some of this, I'm going to run back to the Thaumcraft house. And, well, I doubt they'll be done by the time we get there, but maybe the Soul Forge will be done running by the time we get there. Okay, not done yet, but it's getting there. Probably just a few more minutes and that'll be done. So, while that's doing its thing, let's take a look at what we can use our silverwood logs for. And what I'm particularly interested in at the moment is something under the basic flux research. So what I want to do is I want to make some of these items for our crucible called alembics. These things are nice because, well, as you guys have probably noticed, throwing things in your crucible generates a lot of waste product that goes into the air and pretty much messes things up. Gives us all sorts of flux and bad stuff. With arcane alembics, we can actually capture some of that excess material and store it for later use. It's pretty nice. And you could pretty much put, I think, up to 4 of these alembics on any one crucible because it's got 4 sides, but we're going to start out just making one. And to do that, obviously, you can see we're going to need a couple different things. So to get started with that, as you guys can see, we need to take some of our silverwood logs with some gold in our infusion altar. So I'm not sure we actually have everything we need for that. Let me take a look. We have a bit of seeds, which I know has... Whoop. Sorry about that. Which we know has the permutatio. I don't think we really have anything with the purus. I'm pretty sure diamonds have that, and refined iron has that. So it looks like I'm going to have to pop over to our main factory to get some refined iron. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and as you guys can see, we are back in our Thaumcraft house, and I think we've got everything we need to get moving forward. So what we're going to make is we're going to probably try to make ourselves a couple of these arcane alembics, and to do that we're going to need some brewing stands, which are pretty easy to make. I think there's something like this. Yes. So I'm just going to go ahead and make 4 of these. There we go, brewing stand. Excellent. So from there we can actually start putting some of this stuff together here. So we're going to need to make a couple of these flux filters, and I think we're going to need, well, let's start off just making one. That way we can sort of try to start controlling this flux that's being generated a little bit. So we're going to need to go to our infusion altar with a bit of gold and a silverwood log. There we go. And we're going to need some permutatio and some purus, which we can get through seeds and refined iron. So let's toss that stuff in there. And thanks to my goggles of revealing, we can see what's in there. There's going to be a lot of metal flying out into the atmosphere. But like I said, once we get this sort of going well, that's going to help. You know, we're going to help ourselves a little bit there. So, flux filter. Cool. So that done, we can now combine that with some of this other stuff. Now, we're going to need a good number of these warded jars as well. So let's take a look here. We have great wood logs, so why don't we go ahead and use those to make some of that. And that's going to be made over here in our work table. I'm thinking that should do. Some arcane blocks. Cool. So if we combine those, want to say something like this. Might as well just make a bunch, right? There we go. We're gonna need more of a charge. Let's try grabbing our Wand of the Adept here. There we go. Throw that back in there. And put this back on here. Actually, it probably needs to charge. It's going to take a little while to do that, though. So, I'll just throw it right back in there. I actually can't remember if the wands can recharge from in here or if we actually have to hold on to them. Not certain. So, anyway, back to sort of what we were doing. We were working on the infusion altar. So, as you guys can see, it's going to take brewing stand, one of these warded jars, some gold, and our flux filter, and then we're going to need to find ourselves some of this aqua, air, and vitreous. So let's take a look. I brought myself some of these shards, and that should do it. Was it 8 air? Yeah, so 4 of each of these shards should do it, with obviously some leftover crystal. Come on. Oh, and quite a bit of other leftovers. Again, we're going to be pumping more stuff into the air, but that's okay once we get our Arcane Alembic made. Cool. So, this thing, like I said, is really cool, and we're just going to basically slap it down right next to our crucible. So, there you go. You can see, all that stuff went up into the atmosphere, right? Well, if we go ahead, let's actually get to work making another one of these. And we're going to need some Permutatio and some Purus again. So, there's probably better sources of the Purus than refined iron. I know you can get it from diamonds, and I know you can get it, I believe you can get it from silverwood leaves if you just sort of use a shears to sort of chop them off. It can sometimes be kind of difficult to get this stuff in the crucible. Again, we're going to be pumping a lot of metal into the atmosphere. And apparently we missed a seed somewhere. There we go. So, once I go ahead and get this... Oh, the wand is seriously low on charge. Let me give this a couple minutes to charge back up, and I'll be back. Okay, we're back, and we have plenty of vis in our wand now, so I'm going to make just another one of these flux filters. Now, as you can see, the second that we pulled it out, it used up our materials in here, and it filled up our alembic with 16 of the metal. Now, it seemed to pull out a random bit, but you guys can very quickly see why having multiples of these alembics is pretty important. Now, these can just store the metal, and I cannot honestly remember if it can just pull metal straight from that alembic if it needs some, but it looks like we could use some more of these. Hopefully you guys recall how to make glass vials. I thought we had some. Apparently not. So with our glass vials, as you can see, we can just right click and fill our glass vials with Essentia Metallum. Basically, you can make Essentia for any of the materials, and it'll count as, you can use it basically for, if we needed 8, we could use just a vial of the Essentia in there. So cool, right? So, yeah, so my goal, I think, at the moment is to make ourselves just a couple more of these, just to sort of get things going, and so that we can handle about as much as we can, about as much as this can put out. So just a couple more. Let's see here. We need some more water and air. I think it was 4 of each. Handled it pretty well. So just toss and toss. And again, as you can see, there's a ton of stuff in here. This is why having multiple alembics is so very important. And actually, okay, put that in there. Excellent. So I'm just going to put another alembic right there. And we're going to pull that stuff out of there. It seems vials can hold a total of 8 of any type of aspect. So, like I said, I'm pretty much just going to keep making these until we have enough to be able to handle. Like right now, obviously, we have a little bit of a problem where a lot of stuff is still sort of going up into the atmosphere, but we're trying to fix that. So where do we put our seeds and our refined iron? Ow. Come on. There we go. And it's pumped all that metal, which is probably good. We've been pumping quite a bit of metal into our atmosphere, and so with the couple of alembics, we're able to sort of fix that just a little bit. Looks like we're getting to the end of our... Oops. Looks like we're getting to about to the end of our gold, unfortunately. Thought we had a flux filter in here. Okay. Very bad at actually tossing this stuff in here, aren't I? Wonder if it would be possible for us to set up some kind of transposer or something to just automatically toss this stuff in here, because this is getting a little bit frustrating. There we go. Something to think about in the near future, because this is bothering me quite a bit. That and the fact that I have a hard time getting right up next to it. There we go. Another alembic. And there you go. You can see it's starting to fill up with some other things. Can we not? Huh. Guess we can't put the alembic on. Actually, I wonder if it was because... There we go. That interfere with you? Will you keep doing your thing? That is the question, isn't it? I'm gonna need more glass vials, aren't I? So yeah, so there you guys go. Pretty simple. Now, the other thing that we can do is we're gonna still need one more of these, but with our warded jars, we can basically, let's see, where's a good spot? Let's find a good spot here. I'm not actually sure where. We don't really have a lot of good spots in here. How about over here? Actually, let's move you. Where's our axe? There we go. We'll just put some warded jars right along the wall here. There we go. And we'll slap our arcane work table back down right there. Cool. So the nice thing about these warded jars is that we can take our essentia and we can fill up our jars with that. Cool. Unfortunately, it eats our glass vials, and that's kind of not cool, but there you guys go. Pretty cool little thing, and now we can sort of start to manage the amount of flux that we're pumping into the atmosphere, which is realistically a good thing. So, I'm probably going to make another one of these off camera. I'm going to need to get some more gold. But as you guys can see, we finally finished cooking up our diamonds, and we now have soul shards. These things are cool. This is obviously not from Thaumcraft, but from the Soulshards mod. And this thing is basically going to let us swallow up the souls of things we kill and eventually turn them into really powerful mob spawners. So I wanted to get that going because that's kind of expensive and it takes a while. The other reason I wanted to get that going is that I want to make a new tool called a vial sword, and to get that we're going to need corrupted ingots, which is going to require cooking up some iron in our soul forge. So I'm just going to start that going as well. because that thing is going to be cool when it's done. And this shouldn't take too long to cook up. I'll just wait. Get some corrupted fragment. I think we're going to need quite a bit more, because we're going to need 2 ingots, and each ingot requires 9 of these corrupted fragments. So I'm just going to let these cook up, and then I'll be back. Alright, so there we go. You guys can see I moved some stuff around a little bit. I've got myself a couple warded jars, all holding some various excess scraps that we had gathered. Yeah, and we've got 4 alembics on our crucible, making it all the more complicated to keep this thing supplied. But yeah, but we should be able to capture pretty much just about anything that we put in there, which is good. And I moved my soul forge over here because, as you guys can see, it finished up with its corrupted fragments. And so we're gonna switch gears real quick and make a couple of these corrupted ingots. Pretty simple. And of course, we're going to combine that with a stick, which I believe we have. Yes. To make ourselves a vile sword. This thing is cool. It's pretty nice. I think it might not be able to take enchantments like a diamond sword, but it might be something like a gold sword or somewhere in between. But it also can take on a couple of unique enchants that are going to make it a lot nicer. So the way these soul shards work are, I left them back there, and I want to grab one so I can demonstrate real quick how these work and sort of what their purpose is. But basically, like I said before, these soul shards can capture the souls of the things you kill. And normally, if I were just to run around and kill things with this vile sword, completely as it is right now, we would be getting souls on a one-to-one basis. And there's one inherent problem with this. There are up to 5 levels of soul shards. Of course, that would blow up. I'll fix it later. There are 5 tiers of soul shards, and obviously the more powerful the soul shard, the better it is. The problem is, to get a tier 5 soul shard, you need to kill 1024 of a given monster or animal, and that's a lot of things to kill. That's, in fact, a ton of things to kill. In fact, you saw after killing that one zombie, since we had some soul shards on our hotbar, it is now a zombie shard. And we have killed 1, so it is tier 0. Basically, the way the tiers work are there's tier 1 at 56. Is that right? 56? I'm trying to remember. No. Tier 1 is at 64. Tier 2 is at 128. Tier 3 is at 256. Tier 4 is at 512. And finally, Tier 5 is at 1024. So, yeah. That's a lot of kills, and that sounds extremely daunting. Now, you can also use soul shards on monster spawners, and they will give you 200 kills, but again, that requires finding monster spawners, and there are some monsters that just don't have them. So why don't we take our vile sword and pop it in here and see what enchantments we get, since we've got 30 levels. Alright, we got some kind of weird stuff. Bane of Arthropods, that makes it kill spiders better. Disjunction, which I believe is good against skeletons? That sounds about right. And Soul Stealer, that's the one we wanted, the Soul Stealer enchant. What that does is, I believe I might have lucked out and gotten the highest level Soul Stealer. Could be wrong, there could be a tier 5, but I'm pretty sure there's just tier 4 is the max. So if I jump in here, you saw when I killed one zombie with my diamond sword, we got 1 kill, right? Well, we don't have a cow shard yet, so why don't we do this? You can see you've got to have the soul shards on your hotbar here. So why don't we kill one and see what happens. I would have liked to get something like sharpness, but there we go. Now I have a cow soul shard, and you can see I just killed 1 cow, but it believes I have 5 cows. So yeah, Soul Stealer, really important. Helps make this go a lot quicker. So yeah. So basically, I'm just going to start using this Bile Sword to start collecting myself some souls. That way, hopefully, in the future, we can use those souls to do some cool stuff with. Alright, so that done, I'm going to clean out my inventory a little bit, and we're going to pop back to the Thaumcraft house to do just a little bit more before the end of the episode. Alright, I'm back, and I didn't actually get very far in clearing out my inventory, but the important part is there is one other thing I want to make, and I think it's going to be another golem. Because right now this is kind of a mess, and I want to fix that. So, to do that, we're going to have to, first of all, make ourselves one of our perception cores, one of our golem cores, and we're going to need to make one of these. So I've already got the bricks, but we're going to need a bit of nitor. So to that end, we're going to need, let's see, nitor, stop it, should be 4, 6 light, that is 6 or an 8, I can never tell. So 4 potentia, 4 fire, 6 or 8 light, whatever it said. So should be 2 bits of coal, and we'll use torches just because I don't have any glowstone on me. Cool. So 4, 4, 6, that should do it. We'll need to grab, where did our wand go? There it is. I'll go ahead and actually use our small wand just so that, cool, nitor. And if we just put this in here with some bricks, actually I think that goes into the infusion altar. There we go, and now we're going to need to find ourselves some Imperito and some Modus. So, Imperito, trying to remember what has Imperito. I used to know, it's been a while since we've been back to the Thaumcraft stuff, so I honestly can't remember. Alright, give me just a minute to find what I'm thinking of, and I'll be back. Okay, I think I've got myself some of what we need. I figured it out, it was levers. Was a decent spot to get the stuff from. There we go. And we're also going to use carrots for the visual properties. If I recall... Oh, I got a little bit ahead of myself. So Modus was our trapdoors. Yeah, I got a little bit ahead of myself on this stuff, so this is going to be a small issue, but shouldn't be a huge one. There we go. Got ourselves our golem core. And we're just going to take a bit of water, I believe it was. Excellent. And we should have, actually, we should have all our visual stuff here in our lembic. And I believe if we take our wand... that was not what we wanted to do. Darn. Okay, more carrots. I hit the wrong button. It happens. So we'll just put some more carrots in there. There we go. And we'll get our golem animation core. Excellent. So I'm pretty sure we're getting pretty close to the point where we need to call this episode, but I definitely want to get this thing done. I'm going to be making another one of our tallow workers, so we're going to need a bit more, so we're going to need 20 corpus total. We should be able to manage that fairly easily with just some more steak. There we go. We're also in desperate need of some more vials. Let's get a full stack because we are probably going to need them. So what do we have here? We got some rock. Got some life force of various types. Okay. So, right, tallow. In you go, beef. And we should just need to grab one of our wands here. Get ourselves our tallow. Except our inventory is full as usual, right? Let's manage this a little bit. Putting some tools away usually helps. There we go. We have our tallow. So we can take our tallow, put it in here with a core, and we've already got some Victus because it is sitting right over here. And that is the ultimate cool thing about these jars, is our infusion table here will automatically pull from jars that contain what it needs. So all we really need is a little bit of this soul stuff, which I think it was 8 it wanted. Yes. So we'll just toss that in there. And why are you not pulling? Oh, because that's why. So, alright, I'm going to need to charge up the wand again real quick, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I'm making myself a couple of these yellow markers using some yellow wool. I just combined some wool with some dye. And I'm going to slap one here and one here. And I think we're going to also throw another warded jar down right there. Cool. So the reason for this is we've got our tallow worker sitting in here, and we're going to go ahead and make him. Cool. And so what we can do is basically assign this worker to our alembics over here. And by doing so, you can see he pops right down. Hello. And he will say, I shall gather essences from the alembic for you, master. I only need files or a place to get them. So we can basically tell him, hey, we can tell him where there are some vials, and I think we'll go with, let's see here. Let's make ourselves another marker just so that we can, let's see. Let's use orange. Make ourselves some orange wool. And just 4 oak wood planks should do the trick. Orange marker. And like I said, we're gonna find a place for him to get vials from. And honestly, I am kind of thinking new chest, just sort of to make things a little bit more, organized. This place has suffered pretty badly from lack of organization, but let's put the marker right under here. Boom, and we'll put the chest right on top of it. And we're going to tell this guy, we're going to put our vials in there. Cool. Oh, he's freaking out. He doesn't know what to do. Let's tell him that there are vials in orange. There he goes. He picks it up. And he should... Okay, there's not enough stuff in here. So, yeah. So there you guys go. Basically what he'll do is he'll pick up vials and he'll gather up materials from our alembics and take them into some jars nearby. Cool. And that'll help keep all of this organized a little bit. I actually don't think we need the markers here, and I'll probably adjust that, but there you guys go. Pretty simple system. With just a couple more, I think we might need a separate golem per alembic, so this room's probably going to be pretty crowded with tallow golems eventually. But yeah, ultimately the goal is to have an automated system to be able to gather up all these excess materials and still make use of them. Because if they're within range of our infusion table here, we'll continue to get to use them. So yeah, there we go. So I think unfortunately this is a point where we need to call this episode, but I think it was good. We had lots of fun with some new Thaumcraft stuff, and also got going with some of our Soulshards. So I thought it was pretty. We made a lot of progress, and that's pretty good. And we got a little bit of a break from programming, which is also good. So yeah. So this has been episode 27 of Season 2 of DarkDragoon's Feed the Beast Mod Pack Let's Play. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Alright, I lied. Not quite the end of the episode. A little bit of an extra bit for you guys. I want to show you this working a little bit. Oh, what did he just pick up? That's interesting. Put you in there. Whack the cauldron. That'll fill up the alembic. And, yeah, you can see at the moment that he doesn't have a jar to put the, Essentia Messis into, so he just put it over here in this chest. Because I set him to go to any color. So yeah, there you go. You can see if we get any more metal in here, which, actually, let's do this. Let's fill that up. And we'll just toss it right in here. Whoop. Whack it with the wand, and it should go into... Oh, no, we're just going to get some of that. Well, anyway, you guys saw him run around and do some stuff. So there you go. Alright, that's it. Catch you guys later.